Hey everyone, in this video we're going to look at the following problem. It says, for what values of x is the expression below undefined? And we're looking at the expression 2 over x squared minus x minus 12. Well, an expression like this is going to be undefined when the bottom of the fraction equals 0. So we can ignore the numerator of 2. So we need to focus on the bottom of the denominator and figure out what values of x make the denominator equal 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the bottom and set it equal to 0. So x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. So we need to solve this quadratic. When I look at this, I could graph it, I could use the quadratic formula, but this one jumps out to me as a pretty simple one to factor. So when I factor an expression with the leading coefficient of 1, I always look at the factors of my last number, so negative 12, the constant at the end. So when I list the factors, I have 1 and 12, 2 and 6 and 3 and 4. And I have to figure out which set of factors combine to give me this middle term of negative 1x. Well, when I pick out my factors, it's going to be 3 and 4. But since we had a negative 12, one of these factors need to be negative, and that's going to be the 4, because 3 minus 4 gives me that negative 1 middle term. So when I rewrite my expression after factoring, it's x plus 3 times x minus 4, and we set that equal to 0. So when we solve a quadratic by factoring, our final step is going to be to set each one of these parentheses equal to 0. So my first one is x plus 3 equals 0. My second expression will be x minus 4 equals 0, and I just need to solve each one of these. So for the first one, I just subtract 3 from both sides, and we get that x equals negative 3. And in the second one, I add 4 to both sides, and I end up with x equals positive 4. So my two solutions for this quadratic are x equals negative 3 and x equals 4. So the answer to this question, for what values of x is the expression below undefined, it would be negative 3 and positive 4. Hey everyone, I hope this practice problem was beneficial. If you enjoyed it, check out the video description. There's a link to some more practice problems. I'll also link to any videos that might be useful. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.